Coach, thanks for sitting down with us here. We appreciate the time. Kev, just a
Hey,
reminder.
Alex, I'm here. I'm just waiting.
Great
I'm
to
here.
see you.
I'm here. Good to see you.
Brian, would you like to start with an opener tonight or straight to questions?
I'd love to start with an opener. Love the text messaging when you can see people's phones. Anyway, look, I would love to start off with this. So, my good friend and my partner, Craig, took a little bit of heat mid-season about not making any big moves. And he believed in this group of players. Coaching staff believed in this group of players. And for us to, end on a high note, 9 games unbeaten, to come into a really tough environment to play, kudos goes out to Craig and the coaching staff for, presenting this club with an opportunity to do some damage in the playoffs. I'm not so sure there's a lot of teams out there. Oh, and by the way, I almost forgot, Alex. I almost forgot that Portland's not in the playoffs. So there you go. There's another bright spot to my night. But yeah, I think that it's kudos to this organization having a winning mentality. I think it's kudos to the players in that locker room. Overall, this is a, it's a great night. We're going to enjoy this moment. We understand that there's hard work to still be done, but for us tonight here in St. Louis, this was a pretty big win.
All right, thanks for that. Jada, I see you first in the queue here. Let's go ahead and have you ask your question. Thank you.
Great, thanks. And congratulations on the win, Brian. I wanted to see if you could share a little bit about the decision-making as far as when you decide to use Albert and when you decide to use Nico, especially obviously that paid off well for you tonight in starting Albert.
Yeah, I'll start with Nico. Nico has been a tremendous player for this club for many, many, many years. The contributions he brought tonight coming in as a sub were exceptional. Jada, he is a team guy. He cares about those players that he's played with for years, some of the new players that he's gotten to know. He's made, some references on social media about things, but let's just put that all aside. What he did tonight was tremendous. I was very pleased with his performance. Albert, obviously scoring the goal, certainly, that's a statement. How I proceed in the future with things down the stretch, I'm not afraid to use either one of them. I think both of those guys are tremendous players, and based on home, away, opponent, matchups, everything, we'll see. Everything's TBD. But at the end of the day, the starting group tonight, that was a big performance, and I'm gonna use tonight's performance as that carries a lot of weight as far as what the team might look like come our first game against Dallas.
All right, next question, we'll go over to Jeremiah. Jeremiah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I guess, how do you go about harnessing the momentum from a game like this and translating it into your home form? Albert talked about how, it's obviously very encouraging to have this performance on, but it's another road performance, and it seems like a lot of these performances have come on the road, and so how do you harness it and translate it?
We had
forward?
Good performances on the road early on in the year, Jeremiah. I think this team is different than maybe the mid-season slump. I think Christian's inclusion back in, you guys have to remember, Christian didn't play during the middle part of the year. I think he plays that right midfield position better than anybody else on our roster right now. The team looks different when he's not out there. He's actually still getting back into form. I think he can still get better. But I would tell people that they need to show up for our playoff match against Dallas, because it's going to be an exciting game. that group of players in there ready for the challenge. Maybe you think it's a challenge. Maybe Albert thinks it's a challenge. I actually don't mind that. I don't mind that if Albert thinks about, okay, look, we did this away from home. Now we got to repeat this at home. I'm actually pleased that he said that.
Nico Moreno, you are up next. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Brian, congratulations on the win. First of all, would you call this a statement win to the league in general? And then number two, how well did you feel like you played through St. Louis's press in general? And how was that a big component for tonight's performance?
So is it a statement win? Now it's a little early for that. Look, St. Louis, I give credit to Bradley Cornell and his crew. They've had a tremendous year. That's a good team. Statement win. Okay, last game of the year. Maybe it's a statement win internally for those guys in the locker room, if you know what I mean, Nico. Maybe not for the press, for the public, push it out on social media. Maybe it's not a statement win, but for those guys in there, they feel pretty good. And, as far as I'm concerned, the goals that we scored, the timely goals, I talked to you guys about it on the field when we were in Seattle. They pressed high up the field. They were on top of us for, early parts of the first half. But our first goal comes from a goal kick where we're not afraid to play out from the back. We get all the way down the opposite end of the field, and it's a well-taken cross and a well-taken goal by Albert Christian. That's a sign of a confident team, going from back to front to score goals.
All right, next question will go over to Felipe Makeda. Felipe, your line should be unmuted. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Thank you, Alex. Coach Brian, mi pregunta para ustedes, si el hecho de haber cerrado la temporada con 9 triunfos, ya lo acabo de hacer, fue un high note, si este es un refrendamiento de que Seattle Sounders quedó en la segunda posición por méritos propios, no porque coincidencias de otros equipos. Y una segunda pregunta, si nos puede dar un estatus de Ray Baker Within.
Hey, Felipe, I'm happy to try to translate that. I heard both your questions and understand them, but we don't have translation tonight with either Bob or Augusto. So if you'd like to repeat those in English, please go ahead. Otherwise, I will paraphrase for you.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Coach Brian, the team end up the regular season with 9 wins. During the mid-season, the team had some issues. And then there were questions about the team and being on a kind of a not real position when the team was on the three top positions. And my question to you is if the second position that Sounders end up is a statement of the Sounders won this position for on his own without nobody helping him or coincidences helping the team. And the other question is if you can give us a status of Baker Within health.
Sure. Okay. Thank you for those questions, Felipe. I'll start with Reed. He felt some hamstring tightness. We will assess him as he comes back into Seattle. That's the easy one. As far as the 9-game end of the year unbeaten streak, did we do it on our own? Do we think that makes a statement to the league? Again, we're always looking at things internally first. I think my opening statement said a lot. I am extremely proud of the work that Craig, the coaching staff, the players that we have done. Everybody knows, or everybody should know by now, that MLS is a growing league. Our league is a hard league. It's not easy to maintain success. And for us to bounce back after not making the playoffs last year and now coming back and ending up in second position against LAFC, against LA Galaxy, against other teams that spend more money, against St. Louis, who had a tremendous year, against Vancouver, who's a much improved team, against RSL, where Pablo's done a great job. I mean, this is hard. And so the players did it on their own. They're the ones that do the hard work every day in training. They're the ones that actually do the work. They deserve all the credit for getting themselves into second place.
All right, Nico Antune, you are good to go with your question. Please go ahead and ask it.
Hi, Brian. Congrats on the road dub. Two-parter question. I was looking at the stats, and it looks like Stefan Fry is going to be winning the Golden Glove for clean sheets in the regular season. So I want to get your thoughts on that, on what that means to the club and to yourself. And the second part is if I could get your thoughts on Reed's performance today.
Two layup questions. I love talking about those guys. Reed, again, I'll start with the easy one. Reed is an up-and-coming young player that has a tremendous amount of upside. He plays that position a little bit differently than Nuhu Tolo. In our 3-2 build-out, he has a little bit more attacking movements, which surprises teams, I think. And his defending is not that far off Nuhu. I think Nuhu still is a better 1v1 defender. I think Nuhu's certainly one of the best 1v1 defenders in the league. But Reed certainly does a good job. He shut down Hani Mukhtar when we played against Nashville the other day. He had a good performance tonight. It wasn't just the goal that he scored, but it's just his soccer sense, his soccer savvy. I think he's got a bright future for the club. As far as Stefan Fry is concerned, I mean, what more can a guy win? He's won Supporter Shield, MLS Cups. He's done everything, Champions League, now 14 clean sheets. He was the first one in the locker room to say, no, it's a team. It's a team effort. It's not just himself. He's a great captain and a great leader and well-deserved Golden Glove. I think his goals against Kevin were less than one.
0.9 career best.
0.9 something, a career best. So credit to him as well. Thanks for that stat, Kevin.
Great poll there, Kevin. Proud of you. Jeremiah, we're going to go your way next for follow-up.
Yeah, is there anything that you feel like you need to do better? Like, is there something you look at today and you say, okay, we got to do this better? Or do you genuinely do you feel good about where things are right now?
I think our possession and critical moments, trying to close out games at 2-0. Jeremiah, you're the first, you've been around long enough. I mean, 2-0 is a dangerous lead. And again, coming out of halftime, how did we handle those first 15 minutes? We knew they were going to come out at halftime. I mean, we knew. We warned them. But could we not give the ball away? Could we connect a little bit more? Can we control tempo a little bit better? I think that would be number one. And number two, I still think we can get better defensively. I mean, we gave up a couple of opportunities early in the game. We could have been down 1-0 after whatever it was, 6-8 minutes. So, we need to clean up some things defensively. I actually thought our set piece defending was pretty good today. That's credit to Andy. He does a good job there. And, just fine-tuning things.
All right. I only see one more hand. So, Jada, that's you if you'd like to close us out.
Thanks. Brian, I wanted to know if there's any satisfaction in being one of these, longstanding successful clubs to kind of be able to still beat like the expansion team that's doing well. Is there anything also in that?
Jada, that is a great question. I'm going to resist a little bit, but I am going to say yes. It does give us some sense of pride that as the Seattle Sounders, who had a really good launch back in 2009, that's credit to Adrian and Joe Roth and some of the owners that came in that wanted to make this a special place, special opportunity. Seattle's a great city. I give kudos and, a lot of my experiences to Zig. I think he's watching us. I think that the players that we've had over the years, from the superstars like Clint and Oba, Ozzy, Casey Keller, Freddie Youngberg, all those guys in the beginning, to the guys in the middle, to these guys now, Nico, Raul, guys that have pushed us in this club. Yes, there is absolutely, Jada, a sense of pride in being one of the marquee franchises in this league. Absolutely. And being consistent in this league, again, is hard. It's not easy. You look at what's going on in Portland. You look at what's going on in other places around the league. Austin had a tremendous year last year. They couldn't replicate the Galaxy again. I mean, this league is hard. So I have a lot of pride in the club. And I think we do a great job, top to bottom, about keeping us in that, standing within MLS.
All right. I don't see any other questions, and that feels like a great answer to end on. So, Brian, congrats once again. Safe travels home. Looking forward to seeing you at home.
Thank you, Alex. We'll see you soon.
All right.